The Formula Drift Championship heads to the infamous Wall Speedway in New Jersey for the fourth round of the series. And as we've hit the midway point in the season, the title contenders are trying to perform their best in order to maximize points. It's been 3 events without a win from defending champ James Dean. Can the leaders hold him off, or will this be the round the Irishman, known as the Machine, strikes for his first event win of the year? Let's find out only on Formula Drift Blackmagic Pro Championship. Well, hello Drift fans, and welcome to beautiful Garden State, New Jersey, here at Wall Stadium Speedway for round 4 of the Formula Drift Blackmagic Pro Championship. I'm Jared Dienda. In the 2018 season, not only are we celebrating XV, that is Roman numerals for 15 years of the Formula Drift Championship, but this round in particular here in New Jersey, we celebrate 100 rounds of the FD Championship. This circus track that is Wall Stadium, some drivers love it, some drivers absolutely despise it. You're gonna see carnage, you're gonna see mayhem, but you're also gonna see some dynamic and awesome driving. Before we move on to head-to-head competition, I gotta throw it down to my main man, Ryan Sage.
All right, well, thank you, Jared. I am down here, or rather up here, at the Wall Stadium Speedway, standing on 33 degrees of banking, the largest in the Formula Drift Championship. Now, where this banking plays a particular role is right here at the start line, where the chase driver is at a disadvantage because he's sliding down as he's trying to get grip. Now, he wants to maintain grip so he can get in the first corner with the other driver to have a competitive battle. Now, that's all besides hitting the inside clips, filling the zones, and of course, dealing with this very large banking. But before we get to all the action on course, let's see what the drivers have to say about the course here at Wall.
You're sitting in the start line and your head is almost resting against the seat. It's challenging to drive because every time you try to accelerate on the straightaway, the car just immediately falls the opposite way to the corner. But for drifting, it actually works because it sets you up for a nice feint entry. Enter first gear, second gear, third gear, flick the car up into the wall, a small little handbrake, then full throttle, ride the bank as long as possible.
Coming through the lower outer zone, you have mixed surfaces. So you have some tar, you got the deep pocket, you got the good pavement on the inside, and so you are kind of riding this line of grip, so to speak. And so trying to get your way through there, coming in, hitting the inner clip, transferring through the infield, rattle your head on the Hans parts of the seats when you go through the bumps and the whoops, and it really rocks the car loose, and you get settled back into that last left-hander. So it is, it's a bumpy ride.
You need to be careful in the second corner not to go too far, because then you will catch the painted lines, which are also covering rubber, so when they get wet, they are really, really like ice. You are sitting in one place just spinning tires and hoping that the car will have enough momentum to cover the track.
Wall Speedway holds a really special place in my heart, and it's where we got our first win in 2014. We backed it up with another win in 2015, and there's something about this track that just suits us. Maybe it's like cheese grating wall where you'll rip your rear bumper off, or if it's the bumpy infield, I don't know. But it's a track that I really like, and I'm really poised for this weekend.
Drifting is the only motorsport in the world that is based on judging, so let's break down how that works. In head-to-head battles, the lead driver is supposed to run a specific judging line with as much angle as possible. The lead driver is setting the pace, but the chase driver is supposed to utilize the lead driver as a moving clipping point. Wherever the lead goes, the chase should go too. After 2 runs with each driver leading once, the driver that was the most consistent, most aggressive, and was able to show clear dominance over the other driver will win the matchup. For rules, criteria, and more information on Formula Drift, head to www.formulad.com.
Well, here we go, Ryan. This is the grade 8. First up, Justin Pollock going against Chris Forsberg. Justin Pollock, nearly a veteran of the sport, and Chris Forsberg, been around since day one. You can see JTP qualifying number 1. Can he make this a perfect event going against the 3-time champ, Chris Forsberg?
Well, we've seen that comfort level from Justin Pollock so far this year in both qualifying and head-to-head. But 3-time champ Chris Forsberg getting a late start on initiation here. Nice and high on the bank by JTP.
Yeah, JTP really high on the bank, higher than Forsberg. They navigate around that first front clipping point into that second outer zone.
Now here comes Forsberg on the inside, but Justin Pollock out front drawing a very clean line here. But here comes Forsberg again, pushing the pace through that second inside clip.
Through the power alley, you see Justin Pollock pull away and a wide swing around that final front clip as Forsberg takes a tighter line. Ryan, let's look at it again.
JTP looked very solid throughout this entire run, but at the end he shot a little bit wide there and pinched off Forsberg through that final turn and causing Forsberg to make a mistake. I think it's going to go against JTP.
Chris Forsberg will now be out front with Justin Pollock in the rearview mirror of the 3-time champ. Forsberg initiates a big gap already out of the gate, 70 miles per hour.
We can see why that jump is so important off that short run up here as Forsberg hits that inside clip. Now hitting into this outer zone here, Justin Pollock, big angle right there.
Getting into the crease of that outer zone, you see Justin Pollock gain some ground. Forsberg, great angle about the second hash mark past that front clip. Here we go.
Final opportunity for a lasting impression here by both these drivers as Forsberg extends out and they cross the finish line. Who's it going to be and who's that mistake on run number 1 going to go against?
As we take that bird's eye view, let's go to the judges and find out the verdict. And it's a one more time, Ryan. So 2 one more times and Pollock, majority rules. Here we go. Justin Pollock out front once again.
Pollock heading down this short run up here, looking for the initiation. Forsberg this time tries to tuck in, but gets down on a low line. And look at Pollock way up there on the bank.
Pollock dragging bumper of that Falcon Tires Ford Mustang past the front clip. Chris Forsberg, some corrections there. Let's clean it up, guys.
Forsberg through the smoke line, keeping the pressure on, but once again, Pollock out front, drawing a clean line as he takes the lead.
You can see Forsberg inconsistent with his proximity. Now straightening out another wide swing there by Justin Pollock, now tightening it up towards the latter portion.
Making it look a lot cleaner this time around is Justin Pollock as we take a look from the back of his vehicle. Here you can see Forsberg was on a lower line on the bank.
Now it's time to alternate positions. Chris Forsberg will be out front. Justin Pollock in the chase position on this one more time battle. Oh, and look at this. Forsberg leaves the line, and because he left the line, the race started. He will have to retire, so unfortunately that means Forsberg's out. Pollock gets the win.
Knew I was going to have to stay close. We left the line, and then all of a sudden he shut down, and that was it. We're moving on.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Black Magic. Own your shine. By Air Force. Aim high. And by the Formula Drift app. Download the FD app in the iOS or Android store now.
Welcome back to Wall Stadium here for the 4th round of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. We are only one battle deep into the Grade 8 as we advance on to the second battle. Matt Field debuting a new car this year, going against a Formula Drift veteran he took last year off, but he's back with a vengeance. Forrest Wang. Here we go. Forrest Wang versus Matt Field. Matt Field out front.
Forrest Wang right there in the chase position, trying to keep it close to Matt Field, who's on a bit of a streak here as he works out that beautiful Corvette.
High on the bank are both these gentlemen mimicking the angle is Forrest Wang in the chase position. Let's see how they handle this bank.
Big angle right there from Field. You can see Wang right there does a great job avoiding it as Field slows down. Now back on throttle as they wrap around this outside turn.
That supercharged Corvette making its way through the whoop section, tied to that front clip. Let's see how they round out this first portion of this battle.
Driving through their own smoke line as we wrap around this final turn with Forrest Wang keeping the pressure on, but Matt Field drawing a solid line out front.
Pretty straightforward for both these guys. You can see Forrest Wang lunging forward. Good transition from the bank to the flat portion of the track. Now Forrest Wang will be out front in his S15. Matt Field in that Falcon Tires Corvette in the chase position.
Field tucks right behind, taking a little bit of a different strategy, keeping the pace really close here, but Forrest Wang, big angle right there on the bank.
That Vaptasia S15 not throwing vape clouds. Oh! But Matt Field throws a blow in the back of the S15. The question is, who is at fault? Forrest Wang powers through the rest of the run, given that he does lose his back bumper, but continues on.
Well, it does look like there was a bit of a slowdown there from Forrest Wang in an area that is not supposed to be a deceleration area, and we'll have to see if the judges agree as we go on board here with Forrest Wang.
You can see Matt Field in the chase position, tucked in. Boom, there's the contact. So, take into account the judges. And there it is, Matt Field, 2-1. He gets the win.
Coming off the bank in the transition where things got a little weird, he pulled the handbrake there. The judges saw that as a slowdown, and I kind of popped through the smoke, was on four-wheel brakes, locked it up, and ran into him. But we're thrashing on the car. Hopefully it's nothing major and just a tie rod, and we'll be back out there for the top 4.
Well, Falcon Tire driver advances, and these two Falcon drivers are about to go against each other. Odi Bakshis versus FD veteran Slide or Daijiro Yoshihara.
Well, you can see that second place qualification for Odi Bakshis. That certainly is a sign that he is on a tear here. Let's see how he initiates. Nice and high in the bank, but Dai tucking up on the inside.
Nice job by both these LS-powered vehicles. Odi Bakshis slamming down to that flat portion of the track, keeps the composure, but takes out that Black Magic front clip.
Dai looking for an opportunity to attack here, but Odi Bakshis out front, keeping the pace and the distance very strong as they pass through that infield section.
Consistent are both the drivers, very fluid in their transitions. Now they're going to round it out past this front clip. Pretty tit for tat there, Ryan.
Well, both drivers really accelerating and looking strong in certain areas of the course, with Odi out front dictating the pace, but Dai tucking through and gaining proximity when he needed to.
That Falcon Tires Max Oil Drifts Wheels S14. He will be in tow of the Turn 14 Distribution Subaru BRZ of Daijiro Yoshihara.
Rolling into initiation is Dai, and you can see Odi gets that grip in the vehicle right away, pushes the pace as they come through this first inside clip. We got a battle on our hands.
Odi Bakshis has just become one of the best chase drivers. He just has that simple composure and keeping it really tight to the car consistently. Good job by Odi.
Final pass through of this inside section here. Big angle by Dai and a little bit too much as he overextends himself, and Odi narrowly avoids big contact but still hits Dai in the process.
Unfortunate for Dai Yoshihara, he rotates, causing some calamity, and that means Odi Bakshis gets the win.
Feels great going into Final 4. Honestly, I got to figure out who I'm going against, chat with my spotter, make a game plan, and go out there and try to win this thing.
Well, like you said, who is he going to be going against? One of these gentlemen, James Dean. We have yet to see a win from him this season. Is this going to be it? He has to go through another FD veteran, that is Ken, the OG Gushi.
Look at this, James Dean gets a big jump here and a gap established, and you cannot do that at wall. The lead driver will run away from it, and you can see Ken Gushi not a factor on the bank.
Keep in mind, defending champion James Dean, that Warehouse drifting Falcon Tires S15. More Falcon Tire is shredded here on this track.
Now Gushi makes a move on the inside by cutting the line there. Probably a good move, but will definitely lose some points in the meantime. And right here, James Dean out front, solid lead run from him.
4JZ's on track here under the hoods of these Nissan Silvia and that Toyota 86.
So you can see right here, Ken Gushi does the right thing to gain proximity, but in doing so, he gave a little bit more to James Dean overall in the competition.
Ken Gushi now out front. He qualified 11th. You can see James Dean qualifying 3rd. He's familiar with this track, this being his sophomore season here at Wall Stadium.
Nice job by Gushi getting up high on the bank early on, but James Dean keeping the pace with a little bit less angle there.
Is this too little too late for Ken Gushi after that first run? James Dean, as you said, Ryan, good proximity. Would like to see him mimic the angle a little bit more, as Gushi has more.
Well, Gushi out front is laying down a clean, solid run. Big angle right there, but look at this. James Dean is not letting him get away, and that, of course, is going to play a huge overall factor.
As they round out that final front clip, let's take a different perspective here, Ryan.
Well, you can see James Dean keeps the pressure on the bank. He does not let Ken Gushi get too far ahead in this overall battle. Gushi does his best in the lead, but now it's to the judges.
James Dean unanimously gets the win.
While chasing, I chased him pretty close the whole way through, and it was enough to give it to us. So moving on to top 4 again, another Falcon Tire teammate, Odi Bakshis.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Nexen Tire, driving tomorrow. By Achilles Radio, tires you can trust. And by Falcon Tires.
Welcome back to round 4 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. The Final 4 is set and the waves are flowing here on the Jersey Shore with this All-American battle. It's a Mustang versus a Corvette and guaranteed to be a Falcon Tire podium sweep. Justin Pollock versus Matt Field.
Well, 3 rounds with 3 different winners, and this could be the 4th. One of these 2 guys is going to the finals. Let's find out now. Justin Pollock and Matt Field.
Teal and blue All-American muscle. Justin Pollock works his way up the bank, and Matt Field drops into formation, Ryan.
Both drivers looking very
settled here, but aggressive, maintaining a nice line out front is Justin Pollock, and trying to close the door here is Matt Field.
Pollock gets into the crease nicely. Matt Field mimicking that angle past that front clip in the whoop section.
Both drivers laying it on the line here as Pollock extends out ahead. Big angle here, but Matt Field closes the door as they come through the finish line.
JTP's been taking that wide line, but then tightens up to the front clip. Look at this on the bank. He is riding shotgun with them. Now they round out the rest of the course, and they're going to alternate positions. Matt Field out front, that Falcon Tires Wish Vortex Supercharged Corvette.
Coming down that short straight right there, Justin Pollock tries to go nose to tail here, but Matt Field establishes a gap at 70.1 miles per hour.
The Roush Performance Falcon Tire Mustang in tow, slamming down to that flat bottom section. Good transition from both the drivers. Now Matt Field's in the crease.
Nice crisscrossing there by both drivers, as you said, Jared, but look at the pressure here by JTP. Matt Field out front, trying to make one more go at it here as they come through this last turn.
Matt Field firing off, going wide. Now tightening up are both the drivers. Ryan, this is not an enviable position for the judges.
Great battle here, back and forth by both drivers. Very minimal mistakes and awesome competition out front by JTP and Matt Field.
And look at that, it's unanimous. Matt Field gets the win.
On my lead run, I just did what I've been doing. Play it smart, not do anything stupid. Fortunately, we have good speed in the car. He was lacking a little bit of proximity on the initiation, and I'm pretty sure that's what won it for us.
Well, here we go to the other side of the Final Four bracket. As I said, it's an all Falcon Tire podium. Odie Bakshis versus James Dean. Ryan, you've said it, and it bears repeating. James Dean has yet to have a win this season.
And a huge opportunity for championship points for both of these drivers as Odie Bakshis starts off with a strong initiation here, nice and high on the bank, but James Dean keeping the pressure on.
And Odie Bakshis out front slams down, taking out that Black Magic front clip. James Dean in tow, and now they're in the crease. Ryan, we have a battle here.
A bit tight there by Odie Bakshis on that inside clip, trying to make it up now with the better line, but James Dean not letting him get away, keeping the pressure on as both drivers wrap through this final turn and that last inside clip.
All right, as they cross the finish line, let's take a different perspective here. You see Odie getting into that and riding that yellow line. James Dean past that front clip. Oh man, solid job by both these drivers. Now the defending champ will be out front. Odie Bakshis giving chase.
Odie knows he needs to get a good jump here. James is very fast, has a lot of grip in that vehicle, and you do not want to let him get out ahead.
Well, Odie Bakshis doesn't let him get all the way out, but gives himself a safe distance here. Now he's going to try to reel him in past that front clip.
Nice job by Odie tucking through the smoke line, keeping the pressure on James Dean as they wrap through this outside turn, and now James Dean gets on it, a tiny bit of separation as Odie tries to close the door and goes off course.
Closing the door on himself. You see him go offline. James Dean utilizing all of the course, and it looks like that's going to be all she wrote, unfortunately, for Odie Bakshis.
Well, the big mistake from Odie was transitioning just a bit early here and going off course, giving the edge to James Dean.
And that means James Dean is going to the finals.
We're both close to each other. I think I might have had a small bit more speed and maybe just fewer mistakes. Overall, really close battle. We're into the final. So happy to be back on the podium and just having fun.
Formula Drift on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Black Magic. Own your shine. By NOS Energy Drink with Complex 6 for high performance energy and enhanced mental focus. And by Nitto Tire, fueled by enthusiasts.
Well, we are set here for the finals at round 4 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, and Falcon Tire is all teal and blue on the podium. It's Matt Field versus James Dean. Matt Field debuting his brand new Falcon Tires Wish Corvette here. James Dean, he's back in his tried and true Wordhouse Falcon Tires S15.
It's already a successful year for Matt Field debuting that new car, but this would be the cherry on top if you can take out the champion right here in the finals.
Well, James Dean is putting his car in all the right places as they make that transition.
Nice job by Field keeping the pressure on, a little bit tight on that inside clip. James Dean very wide here as he draws a correct line around that outside turn.
Using all of the courses, James Dean and Matt Field is mimicking everywhere Dean is going.
Great job by Field to tuck up on the inside there. Keep that pace with James Dean as they cross through this last inside clip. A very even battle so far.
As you can see here on that bank, the Irish flag is a waving in that Falcon Tire smoke. Matt Field finds himself just outside of that smoke line. Now he's going to find himself definitely outside because he will be out front.
Well, it all comes down to this here as Matt Field and James Dean get on the track for the final run. James Dean nice and tight right out of the gate as Field tries to draw a high line on the bank.
And he does as they make their transition down into that Black Magic. Front clip just barely kissing it with that Corvette front end. Gets into the groove as James Dean mirrors him.
Little tighter line there from Field compared to James Dean in his lead run. And you can see James Dean is not letting Field get away. Final turn here to make an impression for the judges.
And Ryan, this is another scenario where the judges have a lot of pressure on their shoulders, analyzing every single clip, every single outside zone. You can see going to that second outer zone, Matt Field tucks in and James Dean is right in tow. Going to the judges, James Dean gets the win here in New Jersey.
And with that, James Dean is in first place, Matt Field in second, and Justin Pollock in third.
Well, what a great way to celebrate and end our 100th ever round of the Formula Drift Championship. Awesome driving, great staff sponsors, and of course, some of the best fans in motorsports. And we finally have our victors. That's JTP grabbing third. Matt Field and his freshman maiden voyage in that Corvette gets second place, and James the Machine Dean comes out on top. Ryan Sage is with our winner now.
All right, well, thank you, Jared. I am here with your winner, James Dean. Now, James, the 2017 season was really the James Dean season. You changed everything, how people prepared, their vehicles, competition. Now coming into 2018, we got a real championship on your hands. This is your first win. What do you make of all this and this event?
I see last year was a dream come true for me, first of all, and coming into this year, I know there was a huge target on my back, and I gotta say, for me as a driver, I'm trying my best, but everyone I battle is putting it up to me. So it's really hard to get a win. Feels amazing to get the first win of the season, and yeah, it's awesome. I'm extremely happy and excited to come back for Seattle, and hopefully we can continue to push hard.
Well, you're a real inspiration to everybody. James Dean, your winner here at New Jersey, getting back up in the championship chase. Our next round, we're headed to Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington. For everybody at CBS and Jared Dienda, I am Ryan Sage. We'll see you next time.
After 4 rounds, here is the current standings for the Black Magic Championship Cup powered by Gum Out. James Dean, Frederick Osbo, and Chris Forsberg are 1, 2, and 3. In regards to Auto Manufacturers Championship, Toyota has a strong lead over Ford and Nissan, sitting second and third. And finally, in the Tire Manufacturers Championship, Falcon Tire and Nexen are only separated by 20 points. Achilles Tire in third, Nitto Tire in fourth. Well, it's been a fantastic round celebrating 100 rounds of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship. Please join us at Round 5, Evergreen Speedway, the Battle in Seattle in Monroe, Washington. In association with Formula Drift, this has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.